and we're going to talk about, what we're doing here in this screenwriters incubator. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. This one, I think it is. Okay, do you see my screen? Okay, let me make it bigger here. Okay, is that big enough? Can everybody see that? Can you see what okay, you guys can unmute yourself because there's only, what, 7 of us, or so I don't think there's going to be too much noise. So what we want to do here at Women in Film is to create something called a Script Incubator Program. And the first part of this program is a screenwriters critique group. And so our goal in the critique group is to complete scripts and send them out to contest agents and other industry professionals. And these would be made into motion pictures, short or long, television shows, and digital streaming. And so as the first members of this group, we can decide together how often we're going to meet and what form of critiquing will take place. And we can talk about that a little bit more as we go down. So there are 6 parts to the filmmaking process. Right now, most of you are at the screenplay level, and then there's something called development, pre-production, then production, post-production, and distribution. And so this critique group is like this first part of a 6-part lab to take a script to screen. So that's one part of the incubator. The other part of the incubator is the lectures that we hope to provide. And so these are just 12 screenwriter lecture topics that a group of us had brainstormed about when talking about this lab. Now, there are a lot more ideas. I just didn't put them up, and you may even have some ideas of your own. And so these screenwriter courses, or not courses, but lectures, we're thinking of doing it maybe 3 times a year or 4 times a year. And as long as it's virtual, for non-members, it would be $5. But of course, if you become a member, it'll be free. And if we get to do in-person events, it could be about $10 for non-members. And it would be open to, everyone, whether you're a member or not. So those are the first 2. Now there's other possible screenwriter events that we might try to do. One is a pitch panel where we invite industry professionals to hear pitches from our members. Somebody suggested a screenwriters retreat where you work on your script in a concentrated fashion. And there could be a table read contest, which is, the prize would be a table read with actors. Okay, so these are things that are limited by interest and leadership availability. Now, for 2021, we can't do everything. So we want to focus on 2 things. Okay, first of all, start the screenwriter critique group, and then plan 3 lectures that can be flexible online or in person. Okay, since it's already March, then maybe 3 lectures, meaning like 1 a quarter, like in the 2nd quarter, 3rd, and 4th quarter. So those are what the things that we'd like to do in this program. So now is the time for discussion. It sounds like a lot of you are new at screenwriting, and you might like to meet, with other screenwriters. For me, when I first started screenwriting, I found it very valuable to show my work to other people who knew more about it than I did, and get feedback, and also from people who are at the same level as I am. And so I just put down here what time was convenient for me to meet. Monday evenings or Thursday evenings, 8 to 10. But if those times don't work for people, we can do other times. How often would you like to meet? I'd be willing to meet, once a month or twice a month. Now there's homework or no homework, because some of you might still be in school. So this is, so homework means like you read something ahead of time, and then you discuss it at the meeting. And the one with no homework is you read something, a shorter piece aloud at the meeting, and you might even assign parts to different members and then do some critiquing. So there's advantages and disadvantages of both ways of doing it. So with homework, you can get more feedback from more pages, and maybe have more time to discuss it because you're taking all the time to discuss and you're not reading it aloud. But then if you don't want to have homework, then you might not want to do that. And then the homework with no homework, then you can just come to the meeting, read it out loud, and then give your thoughts. Now some people don't like that because they can't think on their feet, and they'd rather like ponder it over to give good feedback and all that. But so there's different ways to doing it. So I just like to hear from you guys. What day and time can you guys meet? Or if you're, first of all, how many of you are interested in becoming part of a screenwriting critique group? Raise your hand. Okay, some people. Okay, and then so let's try something else. How often would you like to meet? Okay, now I'm only seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm only seeing 6 people at a time. Okay, but if I don't see myself, then I can see all you 6. There's just 6 of us. There's just 7 of us, right? I think. Okay, so
there's 10.
There's 10
with you.
Oh, okay, so more people came in. All
okay,
right.
I actually have a question before we get to this part. The incubator section. Can you go back to that? So I have been talking to a couple of people, and I'm feeling like it's more and more common that writers are moving towards being writer producers. Because if you want to make your story, sitting around waiting for someone else to say yes is kind of cumbersome. So I guess I have a clarification question about what you're picturing in the incubator. Would it be like, is the goals to help the writers move into the producer or director role? Like I don't want to direct, but I want to work with a director. But I don't have a problem with being my own producer. So is it intended to be kind of narrowly focused on screenwriting, or is it intended to kind of give us exposure to the full realm of everything?
Well, it's supposed to give you exposure to everything, but the first year we're going to concentrate on screenwriting. And so the script is like the basis of, anything. So we want to get our scripts polished and ready to present. Like if you're going to present it to investors or to talent or to a producer or a manager, then it just try to get it to be the best that it can be. So yeah, and then we will talk about, how do you get it in front of people, and how do you get into development. And I myself have been writing scripts for over 10 years and I got one option, but I got tired of waiting, and so I said, well, I'm going to become a producer myself and produce my own stuff. So that's kind of like what my journey has been. So, but others, they want to work in LA, they want to work for a television show, or they want to work for movies down there. So everybody has different goals, but this critique group will help you to get your script in the best condition it can be. But yeah, we're going to be talking about how do you go about doing the other things too. Did that answer your question? Okay. All right. Do we have any other questions before we go on? Okay, Audrey.
Hi, yeah. I'm not sure if I should be in this group or the mentorship group. So I have my MFA in creative writing. I'm a writer of prose, speculative fiction, and I'm at the very beginning. So I'm like writing treatments, like, pilot scripts for TV, feature film. And I just bought final draft. So I am at absolute base 0. And I don't know, it sounds like you all are further along. So I don't want to burden you with having to critique me. So should I maybe go to the mentorship group?
No, I mean, I think most everybody here is kind of new. I think probably I'm the the least new. But yeah, you can, I mean, if you'd rather leave, you can go ahead and leave the room and then ask Amy to put you in the mentorship room, if that's what you want to do.
Well, no, I just came from there.
Oh,
So
oh,
They
okay.
thought maybe I would be better here, but I just am checking in to see if anyone is as newbie as I am, because I don't want to burden the group.
Yeah, I think most everybody is kind of new.
Oh,
So
like I literally just got final draft, and that's okay?
yes, that's
I
fine.
don't even have final draft. You're good.
Then I'm
I don't
okay.
have final
Okay,
draft
all
either.
right.
Okay. Was there anybody else that popped in after we did introductions? I think that's it. Okay. So any other questions before we talk about the screenwriting critique group itself? Okay. So like raise your hand if you'd like to be in a critique group, or you think you might like to be in a critique group. Okay, so that's most of you. Okay. So
really quickly, Carol,
Uh-huh.
sorry, I just wanted to kind of expand upon Marin's question earlier. So it sounds like the focus for like the first year or so for this group is really going to be on critiquing scripts, and maybe folks that don't have other writing groups, this can be a place where they can get that feedback and get those notes and so forth. Is that pretty on track? And then some of the development or producing type aspects might come a little bit later.
right. So yeah, so for this first year, we just want to concentrate on the script. And so the next year, hopefully, we can get into development. Like, let's say you want to produce it yourself. So how do you find the funding? How do you find actors? How do you do stuff like that? So that might come in the second year. And then like if you're, or how do you find, if you don't want to produce it yourself, how do you find agents or managers or producers that want to help you produce it? Okay, any other questions? Okay, so it sounds like we want to do once a month and have a hybrid or a choice of homework or no homework. Now, in terms of a certain day or time, it sounded like more people could make it on Monday evening than Thursday evening. Is there any other time that you'd like to suggest doing it? I mean, are nighttime better for you or daytime? Like daytime, you might have school or work or something. So probably, okay, we have 10 minutes. Okay, so let's just say Monday evenings for now, that we'll meet once a month. And so that means in April, I'm looking at my calendar here, and there's there's 5 Mondays in April. Is there any particular Monday or four Mondays in April? So there's the 5th, 12th, 19th, or 26th. Does anybody have a preference, or they know they cannot meet on a certain Monday night?
I would personally probably have a preference for later in the day because I do have school and other practices. So
Okay,
my opinion.
so evening, like 8 to 10, is that too late for you, or that's okay?
I think that's all right. That's all right to me.
Okay, Audrey, did you have a comment? Oh, you're just agreeing with your hand. Okay. Oh, Lottie, did you have a question?
The first 2 Mondays in April, I personally can't do.
Okay. All right. So that means the 19th or the 26th. Anybody have any preference or can't do the 19th or the 26th? Okay, well, let's plan for the 19th, and just in case something happens on the 19th, then we can still try for the 26th. Okay, so does anyone think that they're gonna have something ready to read or to critique like before the 19th? Like, let's say you give out your script piece, like 20 pages, the week before, like the week of the 12th. So would anybody like to go first? Anybody want to?
can I ask a question?
Yes.
What are people writing? Like, what's the page limit? Like, are we like TV
Okay.
shows or feature films, or are we talking treatments too?
Right now, we don't have a, like, you could be any kind of script, or if you don't have a script, you have a treatment, you can share that too. For homework, yeah, I'm thinking 1 to 20 page script. You know, script is like usually in, what is it? Courier 12-point font, Courier or Courier New. If you have a treatment, I don't want to read a 20-page treatment. But maybe a treatment could be like 5 to 10 pages or something. But yeah, a script, you know, there's less words on the page. So it could be like a short script. It could be a portion of a longer script, just not more than 20 pages. So does anyone think they might be ready for to be critiqued on the first day, the first time? Okay, well, if no one does, I mean, I have a script that I'd like feedback on. And so, you know, I can be the guinea pig and hopefully so that you can read it and then you can tell me, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter how much experience you have in screenwriting. I mean, if you read something, you know whether or not you like it or not, or you know whether or not you understand it or not. And so, yeah, I'd like to have feedback from anybody. So I'll be one of them. Does anybody else think they're going to have anything that they'd like to be critiqued by then?
I might have something, a portion.
Oh, okay. And it doesn't have to be 20 pages. It could be less than that. It's just that's
It
just
will
the
be.
upper limit.
It will be less than that, definitely.
Okay. So Lottie, okay, we might have time for 1 or 2 more I mean, since we're reading it ahead of time. Okay. Well, you know, if you think of something later on, then you can just let me know. Okay. So we've got 2 for the April 19th. Yay. Okay, question.
Sorry, I was just saying, I think I can also get something in.
Okay, great. And one good thing about screenwriter critique groups is that it gives you a goal. It gives you a deadline. And so yeah, it pushes you to actually finish something. Okay. All right. Any other questions before there's one other thing I'd like to discuss before Robin makes us all come back. Okay. Now,
how much does it cost to join? Because I'm not a member. This is the first meeting I've been to.
Yeah, it's 30. Okay, it's normally $60, but with a discount code that we'll be giving out later today, it'll only be $30 for the year. So it's a bargain. All right. So we're also thinking of doing some lectures, and I'm not sure how many of you have time to like maybe help me plan them, because I don't want to be planning them all by myself. Since a lot of you are a lot of you are new to screenwriting, but you seem like you already know the basics. You've like taken classes in screenwriting. So do any of you think that you need screenwriting basics, like how to format a script and how do you the 3-act structure and things like that? Does anyone think they need that? Okay.
I may.
Yes.
Yeah, I may need that.
Okay.
Some time.
Okay.
Yes.
And Cynthia, you might need that.
Yeah.
Okay. And Audrey. Okay. Okay. So that's a topic that, you know, we can always, you know, learn from. Okay. Now there were some other ones. Let's see, I'm going to share my screen again. And so you can look at the screen. Okay. Okay, do you see my, let me make this bigger. Okay, so there's different topics here, like pitching, best screenwriting software, selling your screenplay, screenwriting competitions, art of revising a script. So would you like to do have more lectures on the art of writing a script, or would you like more on how to sell a script or how to, I mean, okay, we got 2 minutes. Any thoughts on any of these? You can just go ahead and talk because I can't see everybody at the same time unless I do this maybe.
Could we order them like in the natural process of things, like starting with the basics and leading up to pitching?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. So I can like go home and make a list and put them in the order that I think, that like a new screenwriter would need to work up to. We can do that. Okay. So maybe screenwriting basics might be the first one. And then maybe something else later on. And so, well, where's my other thing? Okay, so no, we did that already. Okay. Do you know of anyone who can speak on any of these topics? Maybe you have teachers at school or something. Okay. Oh, I just learned how to expand this thing. Okay, now I can see 7 of you at the same time. Well, we can skip that one. So would you like the first lecture to be in April, May, or June on maybe a week that we don't meet as a critique group? Since we're meeting in April, I don't want to plan it for April. So how about May or June? Doesn't matter to you?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Or I was just thinking, I do know some people that teach screenwriting down in LA, but is this like a pro bono thing or?
I think we would try to give them some kind of honorarium. I don't think it's going to be a lot. And so if they're a screenwriting teacher who normally charges like $100 an hour or something, I don't know if we do that.
Right.
But I'd have to go back to the board and ask them, how much can we give as an honorarium? Because I believe that we should give something as an honorarium.
Okay, I'd love to know so I could share that with the people.
Right. Okay.
Earl, I'm an assistant teacher for some screenwriting classes at my old school. I might be able to help out.
Okay. Oh, great. Good. Okay. And anybody else might have some possible speakers for that day. Okay. If there are any other topics you'd like covered, you can just email me. I'm not sure if I put my stuff in the chat or not, but I will do that once this group is over. And if you'd like to be on the team that plans the lectures, I'm open to volunteers if anybody would like to volunteer. Oh no, you're just, Emma's just touching her hair. Okay. Okay, well, I don't want to scare anybody away. This is like your first time, but then, there are some people who are real go-getters and they want to just, jump right in. Okay, so this is something that perhaps we can talk about, later on, maybe after our first critique group meeting or something. Okay, I think we're probably ready to go back into the main room. So anybody have any other comments they want to share before Robin makes us come back? Okay, well, you're a quiet group, aren't you? Okay, so we'll just leave the room, and when you click leave the room, we'll automatically go back to the main room. So I'm very glad to have met all of you by Zoom and could connect a face to a name. And I hope to see you all later on, hopefully in April. Okay, all right, bye.
Thank you.